As you prepare your questions, because we are going to run marathon through the questions after this engagement or this activation. We are going to run marathon. I am going to be standing there where you are so that I can hear your questions. We dissect it together and then we get the answers that we need, okay? So if you want to be amongst the first people to ask, make sure that you have your question ready, straight to the point, whether it's business or relationship or child upbringing or marriage, name it. Even if it's about, starting, the startups, make sure that you ask straight to the point so that we can be able to answer that question. All right?
Good evening, everyone. Now, Miss Hilda, my question is, I'm working for a certain Chinese company, and this company at some point requires me to go outside the country for work, of course. And this same company, what I'm doing is not related to what I feel like I should do. I'm just doing it for a living. And I'm someone who has a boyfriend who feels like he should go see my parents at a certain point in time before the end of this year. And if I'm to go, that means I'll come back after 6 months. With 6 months, I'm doing a job which I don't feel like I should be doing, and which job is going to delay some of my life plans. How do I go about it?
Now, when it comes to decision making, definitely, just like you know that you don't feel this job. Why don't you feel this job? You feel like?
It's not the career path I want.
It's not a career path that you want. Okay. Now, there are people that will say, okay, it's not a career path in the career path that I want, but again, being that it's going to give me money, so people have to weigh options. That's why I wanted to give you those options. That you could have thought, even in your mind, that this job can give me money, but again, I feel I am doing it against my heart. And your heart will always win against the money. Okay, even when you need the money. But again, you have to ask yourself, if I stay, and yes, if I go through with my boyfriend's preparation for the wedding or to go and see my parents, what am I going to be doing in the meantime? You remember when I said we engage our mind? You write down, get a pen and say, this is an open door, but an open door that I don't want. Okay? Now, in case I decide to turn down this open door, what can I do in the meantime that is within my heart's desire, that is within my career path? Where can I start? Because you turning down an open door that you don't want, and then you stay folding your hands waiting for your boyfriend to go and visit your parents is a no-no. Right? We agree on that. So that means you have to engage your mind and find the alternative that you could be doing if you don't go for this. Do you get me right? So after you get that too, that is when you can vividly decide and say, okay, I don't like this, but I like this. And then maybe what you like takes long to even profit. Most times what your heart wants will take long to bring in the money, but you will persevere because you love it. Okay? So ask yourself, what is that particular thing? And then come back, we talk about it. Do you get my reasoning? Come back, we talk about it. Your boyfriend going to your parents has no problem. Unless you're saying, I'm turning down a job because I have to be around when my boyfriend wants to go and visit. Do you understand me? If it's the reason is your boyfriend coming to visit, that is the reason as to why you're turning down the job, it's also a no-no. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get.
Mine is general, really.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I want you to understand this. Sometimes the places where we are is not our destination, but it's a means to our destination. So you are in that place, okay, preparing you for your destiny. Never take that place for granted.
How do you juggle work and the side business?
Yeah, work and a side hustle. Don't believe people who cheat their bosses for side hustles. Right? But again, I will tell you this. Your side hustle has the capacity to be your main hustle. So you cannot ignore it. I cannot tell you, devote all your time to your boss. I cannot tell you that. During the working time, yes. If it's a 9 to 5, all that time, be productive, be present, push the needle, do everything that you need to do to deliver for your boss. Because you need that credibility. Okay? your track record matters. Even when you go into business, for as long as you're not trustworthy in someone else's business, there is no way you're going to be trustworthy in your own business. Okay, so you cheat here, you will cheat in your side hustle. Now, when your side hustle has the capacity to actually become your main hustle, that means what you do between 5 or 6 p.m. and midnight lies within what you are supposed to do. Having a supportive partner who knows that this is the money that we bring in through this side hustle, so she has time to actually post this picture. Are you married? You're not married. Even my friend, we did side hustles until some nana guachido. You know, you could kubashiro mongo ebitawo vivudam na side hustle se nekuwa gundi na overnight. You know, reading, research, posting, doing all these things. So make sure, okay. Number one, you have to train your mind to be very resilient. Very resilient. Okay? To know that I can be able to, between 6 and midnight, I can be able to do everything that I need to do. That means planning has to be part of what you do. Now you can no longer just do things for the sake of doing. You have to be very strategic. And if you need to have a coach to actually, some of us don't like investing in ourselves. But let me tell you, investing in yourself is not something you should joke about. Just getting time with a coach and sitting down and being able to compartmentalize and say, okay, from 6, this is what I'm going to do. Social media, do you know that you can actually curate all your posts during the weekend to run the whole week? You can be able to reprogram them. And you don't have to do everything from scratch up. Social media managers, if you're managing, especially a business or a side hustle, there is someone who is doing what you want to do, or who is doing what you're doing, right? So you can actually go and see what they are doing and be able to do your own that fits your Ugandan market without having to struggle. You know what, let me think, no. Some people have figured out these things for you. So follow the people that are doing your business and see what they are doing. Make sure that you brand yourself so well. Make things that make it easy. And by the way, side hustle, if need be, you can even employ someone. For the things that you can't do during the day, you can delegate someone if it's profitable. If you can be able to pay this person, you can be able to pay someone during the day to work, and then when you come in the evening, you start there and push the needle. And because the moment you engaged in it, you know exactly what you need. So you can be able to tell another person what you need. But make sure that you give it time and make sure that you concentrate, but do not break yourself. These things have been figured out. Make sure that you look for people that have done what you're doing, see what they're doing, do it better than them. Beat them at their own game, right? If you know that Tim talked about the comfort, the illusion of comfort and safety. Sometimes you want to be safe. You say, you know what, create a target for yourself and say, you know what, by the end of the month, I want 2 million from my side hustle. I want you to create a target and work towards it. Abamukufe, we cannot run. I cannot run if I'm not chasing a ball. So if you want me to run, put a ball in front of me, I will chase it. And that made a lot of sense, that some of us cannot work without a target. So the moment you target and let me tell you a trick. When I was, some of you have been in the mentorship class. When I was enrolling the first class, this is what I told God. I told God, this is the amount of money. I usually talk to God. This is the amount of money that I am setting for the mentorship class. And guess what? I need 100 people in the class. And this is the tithe that I am giving. Yeah, and I was like, God, this tithe is so big, so you can't miss it. So bring these people. So my duty is to promote, is to talk, is to be on TV, is to be on radio. Bring the people that are going to be in the mentorship. And let me tell you, I was very faithful. My mother is my pastor. I got that money, got my heavy tithe, and gave it to her. And I actually gave more. And so this is why I tricked God. I was like, I have given in more so that you can bring more. So I worked with targets that, you know what, I want this much money. And then I work backwards. What do I do to get to that money? And then I will work day and night. My husband is a witness. I will post at midnight. I will post at 2 a.m. I will do something crazy, but I will do something that gets me closer to my target. Okay?